What's up, DanceFam? Welcome back to another episode of the session. We are back from Prelude, and we are back in our studio.
Yay.
As always, yay.
Wow.
As always, I'm your host, Russ Santos, a.k.a. Lock and Robin. Thank you for joining me, and I am joined again, and for a final time, or at least for a while,
Well, that sounded good.
by Justin Cortez.
Ooh, it has been a good 24 weeks.
And
Dang!
and Eser Valencia.
Oh my gosh.
How you guys doing?
Terrible.
Justin,
Yeah.
you're leaving.
Yeah, we'll get to that. You want to do that now?
Well, I mean, I've been saying it. We got to let them know. So, well, okay. Well, let's tell everyone what we're talking about today. Today, we're going to be reviewing a performance by Dakota Nadia at from France's Got Talent 2018, and they just did a contemporary piece about domestic violence, and it was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So check it out. We'll link it in the description. Check it out. Otherwise, just type in Dakota Nadia, France's Got Talent 2018. You'll find it. And then after that, we're going to be talking about how we can build up the DMV community in general. The DMV being DC, Maryland, Virginia, the area that we are in. But it can definitely be applied to any other community or city, I'm sure, what we'll talk about. And this video and these topics were chosen by Justin Cortez.
That's me. Last one.
Because he's leaving.
Yeah, that's not the way to build up the DMV.
No.
By leaving.
I was gonna
I know,
bring it
right?
up.
I know. We'll get to that.
Sure.
We'll definitely.
But before we get started, tell everyone why. Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
You're leaving
I am leaving.
the area.
The suspense.
I am moving to the West Coast.
Oh, no
And-
suspense.
Zero suspense.
And we'll get to that in about 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
So if you're just looking to hear that, go ahead and skip ahead. Otherwise, stick
You're looking
around.
to see why I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Skip ahead. Okay, so Dakota and Nadia. Which one is Dakota? Which one is Nadia?
I say the guy is Nadia.
You think so?
It's France. I don't know.
It's France. Anything could happen.
Michelle.
Fair point.
French Michael.
France has Got Talent 2018, so it just happened. Well, let me see when they posted it, actually.
Sometime this year.
Maybe.
No, like last week, 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
wow.
October.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah, October 29th.
All right.
So this is fresh. We
Yes.
should review that. Well, anyway, you're gone.
We should do
it. They just did a contemporary piece with a domestic violence theme, I guess, story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a story.
Justin, you're the one that found it. Why don't you talk about it?
Okay, so the reason why I chose this particular video is because just how, like, I mean, obviously this is DanceFam, and we're always like kind of looking for, different kind of videos to watch or, review and everything. And I thought that it'd be cool to, not cool, but very interesting to kind of unpack a video that has a very, very strong meaning. It's not even an undertone. It's like the theme of
It's-
the,
yeah.
And domestic violence is something that affects people all over the world. Like, people that you're probably even close to have probably experienced some form of domestic violence, emotional or physical abuse of some sort. And I think that with this particular video, the dancers, Nadia and Dakota, they conveyed so many of the things that people that I assume the people that experience domestic violence experience, because as you can see, like through their movement, there's a lot of love, but there's also a lot of aggression. So, and that's what kind of goes into it. So almost like a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing. Like you love your aggressor, you fall in love with your aggressor. So I thought that the way that they conveyed the movement and the theme of domestic violence was so powerful that I just had to like bring it up in our conversation today. It was
good.
It's the only thing that I could think of, like when I suggested it to you, was like this has got to be unpacked. Like it's so good.
And it's a pretty long piece too, actually.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was surprised with how long it took, because I mean it was France's Got Talent,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm used to America's Got Talent, and their sets are like
Yeah.
1 minute, 2 minutes
Mhm.
Very short.
at that. But this one was like maybe 5 minutes or even longer. I don't know.
Mhm.
but it was super long. Very powerful, like you said. It also kind of had a hint of drunkenness,
A little bit, yeah.
especially in the beginning when he was like creeping up on
Right,
her,
right.
Mhm.
like he just got home from a long
Mhm.
night or something like
Yeah.
that.
It's like everything is centered around like maybe a particular problem.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I want to talk about first of all what they were wearing on their bodies. Period.
Mhm.
So from the get go, I noticed that Dakota, who I'm guessing is the woman,
I don't know.
the woman, had like drawn on or like makeup bruises on her face and her ribs and her arms,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh wow, that's already pretty
Yeah.
Yeah,
intense.
Yeah.
It was already like you just like, oh gosh, I feel
This-
uncomfortable
or-
already.
and at the same time, you're like, is this gonna go down in a
Yeah.
second?
Right.
I mean, it's almost like with our conversation about like costumes and stuff. Like what kind of
Yeah.
that was conveyed to full effect.
Yeah, and so to that effect, what they were wearing, just I would say normal contemporary outfits.
yeah, for
very
sure.
loose fitting top, tights,
Easy to move in.
or short tights,
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
Very airy, free to get.
Right.
So it's like something they would normally wear, and then
Yeah.
just the makeup that made it look like she's been hurt
Mhm.
Yeah.
was enough, and like that's it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very
Mhm.
simple.
They set it up the way like, oh, they're at home, because you can definitely see like how she was, like, of course dressed as a contemporary dancer, but also it's relatable about how girls just want to be comfortable like that also.
Yeah,
Fair
like,
enough.
when
home,
they're
so-
at home and
Yeah,
stuff.
So it's and then I don't know if you guys caught it also, but I felt like also it was capturing for the male lead. I'm not sure if it was Dakota or Nadia,
Keep
but
talking. I'm gonna look this up.
but he was also wearing boots, so it kind of conveyed also maybe touching on the spectrum of he could also be military,
Oh,
because
ooh.
sometimes military returning home after like a tour or a war,
PTSD. Of
PTSD of some
Yeah.
sort can also be contributing to the factor of domestic violence.
Dang, I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that. Wow, good catch.
Yeah.
Good catch. I did notice the boots, but I didn't think that.
So
I didn't think anything of it. I
That's
thought-
pretty deep.
Yeah.
so the male was like touching on all sorts of levels right there too, with just his simple costuming
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that was really interesting is how they balanced the very aggressive movement
Mhm.
and made it into dance.
Nadia is the woman.
Nadia's
Nadia's a woman.
Okay.
Okay.
Like how they made it into dance. You know,
Yeah.
like there were some moments where like the way that he would like grab her, or the
Right.
way that he put her
Uh-huh.
hands on her, or the way that she would even fight back. Like I was like, this feels so real, and like, and it made me feel like when it makes you feel uncomfortable, it means it
Yeah.
has a sense of realness to it.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that was kind of. It just, man, I almost cried while I was watching it the first time, because you can see like a lot of pain between
Oh yeah.
between two of them, and that's something that I hope neither of them have gone through, because that would also mean that like their acting was just like on point.
Oh,
you
for
never you
sure.
never hope that someone's going through this kind of
No,
thing.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've won World of Dance.
Oh,
I think World of
In-
Dance Quebec.
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 Okay. But it says they were. No. I mean, it's spelled Quebec, like as in Cubique.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Maybe it's a
maybe it's somewhere else.
city, region.
A sovereign nation.
in
I don't know.
or just like somewhere
I don't
in
know.
Europe.
Oh no, sorry. Keep talking.
But anyways, where was like, yeah, like it was.
No, they're called Quebec.
They're called Quebec.
They won World of Dance Championships 2018,
Wow.
upper
Oh.
division. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So they're pretty good.
They got those credentials.
It's always coming back to World of Dance.
I
So-
know.
That's how you started.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Nice
24
little bow tie.
24 weeks later.
But anyways, what I was getting at is the impact that their performance causes for the audience to be uncomfortable. I think they did their job.
Yeah. And I can't imagine how many people are in the audience that have probably gone through something
Yeah.
like that, or probably like maybe brought back to that place.
Mhm.
And it could have been a very powerful moment for them to see. Because, you know, when that's the thing about like dancing to themes like this, they can garner like an emotional response.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think that's why pieces like this are very important, because they kind of call to the forefront, that those things that
For
need to
sure.
be talked about.
Good point. I want to circle back to what they were wearing.
Mhm.
One of the most impressive parts of their performance for me was how they used their outfits.
Yeah.
Again, just normal contemporary gear,
Mhm.
but a lot of their movements and a lot of the moves that they did perform partner-wise relied solely on their outfit.
Yeah, like
Like even just like reaching behind and making sure they grab their
Yep.
shirts to pull them back.
mhm.
That's hard enough. Like you can barely, if I'm trying to mess with like one of you guys, you can barely, sometimes it's hard to grab your shirt.
Well, that's because we're fat.
No, but it's tough because like your shirt, you have no control over it. So
Yeah.
or your clothes, you have no control over it really.
Mhm.
So it could perform the way you don't want it to, just randomly. If there's like if like the vent is on or something, you know what I mean? And it blows it one way and
Yeah.
you try grabbing.
Oh.
Right. And then so that was like one part, and I was really impressed. But then they kept upping themselves with
Yeah.
their outfits, like reaching through each other, taking it off, getting them intertangled, and then using it to pull them back.
Yeah.
That was
I did
incredible.
not- Yo, the way that it ended up, I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
what? Like I was like calculating it. Like, how did you even do that?
Yeah, and like the theme or like that image that you get, it's like they're bonded through that as well.
Yeah. Such symbolism. It
Mhm.
was amazing how they just pulled, literally and figuratively, he pulled that off.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh,
I like it.
yes, sir.
Aha.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. That's funny.
Let's see what I mean. Obviously, their lifts were good.
Yeah.
Pretty
He threw-
standard. Yeah.
Like threw her there.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
I don't
plenty
know
of times.
For
It's
even
still
a-
impressive. Don't get me wrong. Still
Oh, yeah.
impressive.
for sure, like even for a second, if they made a mistake, I couldn't tell.
Right.
I
I
honestly
don't think
couldn't
they
tell.
did.
Like how,
Looked pretty flawless to me.
and at the same time, when I was thinking, just watching, I was like, how do you rehearse this? Because this is pure, like,
Trust.
Yeah, I think when you do pieces like this, you have to put yourself in it.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like they took themselves to a place where it probably got close to feeling real.
A dark place.
A
Yeah.
very I
I mean, they had to pull from
They
some
had
kind
to.
of experience, right?
I hope not. Like, because you never wish that on a person.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, but
Yeah.
like, they just performed it so they embodied it
They
so
did.
well.
Yeah, I know.
They
That- how do
really
you-
did.
And
It's hard.
yeah, and no performance is ever gonna, represent what actually happens in these relationships.
Sure.
Oh, no,
Like,
not at all.
But man,
Yeah.
gosh, I could never. Like, for the people that have like experienced it, like I can understand. But the people that don't and have never that have no frame of reference, man, it can be very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
They have to get real honest with themselves just to even
Yeah.
pull from such a place.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of like mental what what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of mental the word?
Mindset.
Where does that leave you after you're done with rehearsing?
Mhm.
Because we've done powerful sets before where at the end of rehearsal I just feel like crap, and like
That's me after every rehearsal.
that's because you're tired. But I mean, like, it's so emotionally draining to have to be in that mindset for so long. And you're
Yeah,
just
I
like, oh my
know.
gosh, like how am I going to get myself out of this? Like,
Yeah, and mind you, like you bring up a good point. Since it's like we're coming from a rehearsal of a team,
yeah,
there are only two of
it's only
them.
two of them.
So
yeah.
drawing that energy between each other, just even them, that's enough to strain the relationship and
Mhm.
just the interaction also. So them just doing what they did, wow,
Yeah,
Impressive.
very
Very.
impressive.
very, very.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say. It's really, it's like, I mean, you said it all, and it's just really, I mean, I keep saying it, but it's just really impressive
Yeah.
what they managed to pull off. Because there's a lot that goes behind that.
Right.
Just that, I mean, just to even think about it.
Mhm. Is there anything you guys didn't like about the performance, or what you would have changed?
I don't know.
I mean, they did a lot. They did. They
Yeah.
added a little crump in there.
That's one thing I forgot. Yeah, they did. There's a bit of crump on
Yeah.
both sides. They both did.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, I think utilizing crump in this, like, it's, people have like a misconception about
Yeah,
crump
so-
and everything, but
Mhm.
crump, it comes from like
Within.
your emotions.
Pretty much,
It's
yeah.
an
very-
internal
It's a
factor.
very emotional dance. So I think that's a great juxtaposition.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, crump is a backronym, meaning they made the acronym afterwards. after they came up with the name. It's KRUMP stands for Kingdom Radically Uplifted Mighty Praise. So it's a very spiritual style, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's not always about anger or aggression
No,
or
it's
anything
not.
like that. It's
It's about release,
Yeah.
Yep.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, them choosing that style or to incorporate a little bit of it into that piece was spot on.
Very,
I think it was well done,
I liked
well
it.
implemented.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that I didn't like. Like that moment when she was on his shoulders and they were doing the same movement with their arms
Right.
and everything.
Yeah.
Even that looked so cool. It was like almost like a totem pole or
Or
ladder.
a ladder.
Not a ladder.
Yeah.
You saw
I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Man.
Sheesh.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can't think of anything I didn't like per se.
I mean, for me, I think it's challenging for me to even think of, like, should I even criticize this?
Yeah.
Like, this is a message, and all these pieces that we watch and do and exhibition or showcase, it's not always going to be like, oh, let's get buck or let's put something very heartfelt in a good way.
This one was like both.
This one was just like the other side of things, like, and it's important to
The art side of things.
yeah.
Good one.
It's good to have these also still being showcased around too.
Yeah.
I can't find anything negative. I'm like really trying to find something I
know.
hate.
Just,
You
I
know?
mean, maybe to talk about like kind of the themes that they kind of embodied. Like, there's
I mean, the whole idea of the guy lifting her
Yeah.
and literally throwing her around, just that, the whole idea of that when it comes to dance, and then the idea of that when it comes to domestic violence
Yeah.
is already like a juxtaposition that just works, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the thing that got me really messed up was like there was the moments where the embraces felt so like loving,
Yeah.
and then right after that
It just turns around.
it would be so violent.
Yeah.
Like that. Those are the things.
Or like
that
the
were
one,
just-
like where she's like literally trying to get out of his arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
He's just like manhandling her.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You know.
Well, you know what they say. It's just that fine line between love and hate.
How crazy is that?
I know.
I love you guys.
I hate you too.
What a fine line.
It's a good looking line.
That's a very
Yeah.
fine line. Nope.
Very
Not
fine.
gonna make a joke.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Anything
Yeah,
else
yeah.
about this?
I think
We talked about their
I'm
outfits,
good.
the theme, their performance in general. It was long. They're through to the semifinals, so we'll see them again. Well,
yeah.
on YouTube at least. I don't plan on
Yeah.
watching it.
Another show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the judges were very engaged too.
I usually don't like when they go to the judges like during a performance.
gosh.
I want to watch the performers.
Yeah.
But the look on the judges' faces was literally how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them were just like in disbelief of what they were
Yeah.
watching, and like
Well, like
a couple of them I think were brought to tears.
yeah, it looked like
they.
they just bawled already.
Yeah.
For me, it's exactly what you said. Just like the whole disbelief thing. This was my look the whole time.
I've seen
Like-
that look before.
Actually, this is my look when it comes to most dances I watch.
Oh, really?
Because it's my thinking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Look.
Okay.
It makes you look disgusted.
I know.
Yeah, at resting
Oh.
disgust face. I guess.
Oh yeah.
Well, when I'm at least like watching something.
True. It's
Anyway,
like you're trying to just figure out how you're feeling about it.
yeah.
Okay, I see.
Or I know how I'm feeling, but should I really feel that way?
You're questioning
Let's
your.
let's try and help them out.
I see. I got you.
But it was good.
Yeah, it was overall well done.
Yeah, I remember. Just to kind of talk about this a little bit. I remember when we were on Culture Shock, we would do
Domestic violence.
domestic violence performances
Well, at a show
Yeah.
to raise awareness.
Yeah, raise
Yeah.
awareness.
and like. I consider myself lucky that I've never had to experience anything like that. But like one thing that stands out is just how like we would do like a procession. People would hold like picket signs and things like that, messages about people that have experienced domestic violence, and people in the audience that were there supporting the show. A lot of them were survivors of domestic violence in general. So during those processions, I usually would see people like crying or bawling and everything, and you can just tell like these emotions are so powerful. It just has to be said. Like these are the conversations that need to happen to bring them to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people go through stuff.
They really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should count our lucky stars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very upsetting.
Yeah.
And just pray.
Yeah.
Pray
there you
for
go.
something better. Okay. Whew.
So don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Be good to one another, everybody.
So
Yes.
Dakota and Nadia, gotta give them props.
Yeah.
I mean, they've
lots of
apparently
props.
have won World of Dance, so they're good.
Yes.
I guess they're from France, maybe.
Maybe.
Cool. Excuse me.
E-props to them.
Those props.
Anything else about this performance you guys
I'm
want to talk
good.
about?
That's it.
Very, very solid
Yeah.
and powerful performance. Let's move on to our topic.
Topic.
I don't know why I exited that, but anyway, our topic. What you guys building up the DMV community. So, DMV being DC, Maryland, Virginia, where we are currently located.
Not the Department of
And
Motor Vehicles.
Nope.
yeah, and this can be applied to any community that you may be a part of. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be just us or
Yeah.
just where we are. Maybe not so much. No, it can. I was gonna say maybe not so much LA because that's already built up like crazy,
Yeah.
and even New York, I think too.
Yeah, but I think there are a lot of places that still, struggle with their
Sure.
communities and everything.
Sure.
I mean, LA being a very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Dance.
speaking of LA, what's going on with that with you? You're leaving.
I am leaving, not for dance. Okay,
Let's just explain why.
okay. So, me and my fiance were like we've been talking about this for, a while now, and she's always expressed wanting to move to the West Coast. And she got an opportunity to go out, and I was like, okay, why don't you just go out and I'll support you and we'll figure it out. And then we figured it out. And,
And now we're going.
Now we're going.
Now
So,
we're doing it.
So we're gonna pack up all our stuff. We're gonna ship it in some cubes, and then we're gonna drive across the country and move to Los Angeles. I know.
You're driving your cubes?
No. So it's a very emotional week for me right now. Like for me personally, like the DMV dance community in general has been so gratifying, and I've learned and studied and developed my craft here.
Yeah, and you were raised here.
And I was raised here. Like that's a whole thing. Like this community has put out a lot of very successful dancers.
Yeah. Lyle,
Lyle, Laura,
Tony Czar.
Tony,
Czar,
yeah.
yeah.
Jojo Diggs.
Jojo.
Jozar,
Joe Czar.
Jozar,
yeah.
Chaz with the Groove Mechanics.
Yeah, Groove Mechanics.
Chaz, yes.
Mm.
And
Russ.
Russ Santos, Eser Valencia,
Oh.
Funk Justice, these guys.
Oh, really?
And you're going, yeah.
And like that's what makes the move bittersweet is that, with our topic, how do we build up the DMV? The first thing is don't leave.
Don't leave. Yep.
And obviously,
when you told me that's a topic you want to talk about, I was like, I got one for you, man.
yeah, I know. I mean, that's the natural response, and it's not that. And the funny thing is that my sorry,
Mm-hmm.
the move is not dance related. It's more so it's like life related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will always be a DMV dancer in my heart and soul. Yeah. Yes, Russ. I will be. And I hope to have the opportunity to dance out there,
Sure.
whenever I can. But man, like it's just a scene change.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Okay.
That's real.
So like
Virginia's scene change.
True. So like, okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get on to the topic.
On to
Right,
the topic.
on to
So,
the topic.
The point is you are making moves
Yes.
for your life
Yes.
and your future wife.
Mm-hmm.
And we're proud of you, man, for sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep that seat empty in your honor until we fill it.
I was gonna say you're gonna retire my seat. I'll just say Justin every day on the back of it.
It's gonna be so cold next to me.
But where'd you find this topic? How'd it come up?
So shout out to Lauren DeVera. I think she was the one that asked the question.
I saw that post as well.
And
we've had her on the show before.
Yes.
Right.
And it was a very simple question. It's like, how can we build up the DC, Maryland, Virginia dance scene?
Mm-hmm.
And that encompasses a lot of things. Like, people are coming from different avenues or different mindsets. Like, there's the choreo side, the team side, the crew side, and then there's the freestyle element.
Street styles.
The street styles in general, like people that may not participate in choreography at all and just dance, they develop themselves in a particular style. So there's a lot of input,
so many factors.
And it was interesting that it wasn't just like, how do we develop the DMV choreography scene or the DMV freestyle scene? It's dance in general. So that's kind of the overlying thing. That's hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different answers. And what was great is that the people that were contributing to the conversation had a lot of great things to say about how to develop it. Like, first off, there's a lot of misconceptions between choreography and freestyle in general. Like, a freestyle dancer might say choreography, or might have a lot of negative things to say about choreography, being a team. Like, you're just kind of doing the same thing together. Whereas a choreography dancer doesn't validate a freestyle dancer as much because they can't do choreography. This is kind of like a weird back and forth thing. And that's just one thing, a couple schools of thought. There's like a million different things that can avenues you can come from.
And Eser, you said one comment on that conversation stuck out to you.
Yeah, the one that I particularly remember was from one of our very good friends, Ryan Porter. Ryan Porter, also a DMV native.
Now in LA.
We had his brother Jared on the show.
Yeah, we've had Jared. They're twins, just in case you don't know. But yeah, great guy, and he has great insights. Still keeping tabs on people over here as well, even though he lives in LA as well, doing great things and still b-boying. But he says the main thing is just communication. Meaning, like, he had a nice thread going as well. So I read some of the comments between someone replying about it, meaning how there's a whole bunch of events happening on the same day.
Right.
And it's hard for people to pick and choose because those particular events, such as a workshop or a show or a jam, people want to go to them, but they're happening simultaneously at 1 o'clock the same time. So I think for that particular part, in terms of communication, I think it's just between the host of those things. They need to be better about it so people can have more exposure to these different types of scenes, as well as get that nourishment for the out there for the dancers,
Yeah, and there's even a way to do it. There's a Facebook community for the DMV area for the sole purpose of directors and whatever to just post things hey, we're checking to see if this date is conflicting with anybody else.
No, it's a matter of whether
it's
or
a
not
matter
they're
of, but
actually
they're doing it.
It's a matter of that, as well as it's great that it's there in Facebook. That type of communication is a main hub, but not everybody's checking that. So I think it has to expand throughout all social media platforms.
Yeah. And it's, I don't even know what I was going to say. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
My mind is racing because there's so many things that can be done to build up this community and everything. And, it's just
okay. So sorry to interrupt.
No.
But to stay on topic with this social media stuff, I agree. It should be out there, but it's nice that there's a one place that people should be able to go to, such as Facebook, and that one group where that is solely meant just for communication. The toughest part about social media is and I'm very much one of these people. It's I don't like to post. Period.
You find it cumbersome.
I think it's more. it's like a responsibility to post every now and then about your life. Like when I just want to live and just, when I see stuff, I see stuff. If I'm doing stuff, I'm doing stuff.
No, that's legit.
I get that. I mean, when it comes to people putting on performances and who have events in general, yeah, then you got to really put it out there.
Right.
But at the same time, not everyone's checking Facebook, but not everyone's following you. Not everyone's going to check Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone's going to check Twitter. It's a matter of luck. But yeah, I agree. There needs to be some communication. That's why I think the Facebook group is the one place people can actually go to. Like, all right, let's see what's going on. There needs to be better PR. I can say when it comes to people's events, like they need to actually put it out there and on the group and whatnot.
And there's also like a matter of respect. Like if you know that something's gonna happen, don't do it on the same day.
Yeah,
or like, talk it out. Maybe like it. The worst that someone could say is no when you want to. If you ask them to move their show or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, why be scared of that? They'll say no, and then you'll have to be the one that has to make a change, or not.
It's just a matter of being aware. Also, just check things out if you're trying to host something, because I know, some people they really are looking out. It was like, okay, what's happening on this and this date and like what time, so they can like really figure out, oh, this would be a good window for us to just do something,
Right.
Yeah. Another thing is, in building up this community is, people need to take their criticisms a little bit better too.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like this is a very, we've talked about this before. Like dancers in general are very prideful people.
Yeah.
And, they don't want to hear the negativity behind it, but a lot of times it's not negativity. It's a matter of education. If you're out there teaching something that's wrong and someone corrects you, take that. Take that. And they could be wrong too. But then it's a matter of responsibility, you as a dancer, to do your research about what it is and why there might be a disconnect here. Because like even like in locking, some of the moves might have like different names, things like that.
Sure.
It's like
well, there are moves that have different names.
Right.
For the
Blast,
same move. Muscle
Man, throwback.
Exactly. So like if someone were to come up to you, be like, "That's not a blast. It's a throwback." Your answer would be,
it's the same thing.
Yes. But regionally it's different.
Yeah.
So like you're that exchange right there bridges the gap in knowledge. You know what I mean? So people are like, in order to try to figure out, I'm getting kind of off topic now. I'm just rambling. Take it away.
Okay.
All right then.
So let's circle back to the whole idea of not leaving your community.
Yeah.
So like this, I mean, I've talked about this at least 10 times already with different people. So why isn't our community the way as prominent or as well known as someone else's? I said, well, because one, it's not being built up. 2, everyone's competing against each other. And 3, everyone's leaving. Imagine if Lyle, Tony, Jojo Diggs, and they all stayed and like wanted to do what they're doing in LA or wherever they are, but just here and really building it up. Imagine how different this community would be. I get that they're unable to grow here to their certain degree or however they wanted to, so they have to go somewhere where they can get the knowledge and whatever, but they're not coming back.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I mean,
there are a lot of people who want to get better. Like, oh, I need to be a better dancer. I got to go to LA. I got to go to New York. And do it. But why? Like, don't say or don't question your community when you're the one leaving and not trying to make it a better community at the same time. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
No, I mean it's there's a lot of reasons why these things happen. Like a lot of it also has to do with no support of the arts. Like somewhere like LA or somewhere like New York, they have more of a hub for artistic expression and things like that.
I think it's more of a
You-
commercialness.
You think so?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, they are using these people to put into
Yeah.
their the commercials, literally.
Fair.
Commercials, background dancing,
Mhm.
other
Yeah.
artists that they see as artists,
Okay. That's fair.
like singers and musicians and,
Yeah.
and actors, actresses, etc.
I can see your point.
Yeah. I don't think I think there's just as much appreciation for dancing out. Well, no, there's more appreciation for dancing out there than there is here. For that purpose, I think they see
Mhm.
him. They see him as a, what's the word I'm looking for?
$sign.
Yeah, but like, they have value in
Commodity-
that. A commodity. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
As a commodity,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. Here, people are just dancing because of dance.
Yeah.
Or here, I'd say here, as in like any other
Mhm.
dance community.
I mean, is it possible to? I mean, there's a lot of things that would have to happen. That this would have to be more of a hub for, a commercial standpoint.
Yeah, I could see that. That would definitely help.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's necessary, but I think it could definitely help. You can come to anyone can make dance videos and put it out there and then
Mhm.
get blown up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Look at TMLE.
Yeah.
It just so happens all the dancers are out there
Mm.
and not here. So again, say like we had all these dancers, they built their own, dance studio
Right.
and building or whatever, and just kept holding very well done classes and workshops
Mhm.
and recorded it, then this area would be well known for them. Same thing with like the styles. People with styles, I'd say more often than not, people would in the freestyle community stay wherever they are because they have a lot of pride in their community because that's where they trained
Mm-hmm.
and that's where they grew up and they're dancing on the streets literally.
Yeah.
But then there are some times where people branch out, go out and, just to learn from different regions. But more often than not, they don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
Like then I've said it more than once, but like I think like that's very key to building a community. Awareness that you can make your community just the way you want it to,
Mm-hmm.
as long as everyone works together and stays.
There was I had a conversation with Jonte with what is it who is he with Urban Artistry. He used to be on Future Shock and everything. So he teaches I think it's called Memphis Juking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he went to Memphis and trained under them and got permission from the people that created the style to come back here and teach it.
There it is.
There,
That's all it
It's
takes.
it's a perfect example
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
of yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah.
He went to the source,
Mhm.
did his research, and got a blessing from the creators to
Mhm.
bring it somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful thing for this area.
Absolutely.
It's great.
So shout out to Jonte.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I keep going back to it. People go to LA, New York, whatever, Memphis. Great barbecue in Memphis. But like people in LA, they go out, they get a taste of the life because like that's where people, that's where all the dancers are. So obviously they'll get more praise from more people.
Mm-hmm.
So they get comfortable there and they just stick around. And then they may or may not be getting better. But then, you do need to give back to community at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
And what better way than to come back to your original community and make that a breeding ground for more
Mhm.
dancers? Because
Got to build it up.
yeah, I mean, think about how great this community could be, or any community, if people didn't flock to one
Right.
city.
That one area.
Yes. There are a lot of places building up though. Like Utah has like a thriving contemporary
Yeah.
pool.
They do.
See, that's well known for
Yeah.
like the contemporary community at least. Why can't and LA is still around obviously for contemporary if you want to go into the industry for real.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure a lot of people still go back to Utah and just whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm beating a dead horse. It's not
Thanks.
gonna.
That imagery is so terrible. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh gosh. White horse.
Yeah. So that's I think a lot could happen if people either stayed in their community or went back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a big one for me. Any other ways?
I'm
There's so many ways.
maybe also another thing is that I think like, you know, people are just so comfortable in their safe spaces. So for example, like there's like always these open invitations for like the Sarlacc pit, for example. Our friend James Wu has these Sunday like sessions out in DuPont Circle.
Mm-hmm. For locking sessions.
For locking sessions, or just
it's a
like
funk session.
yeah, funk session. Like you don't have to necessarily be a locker. Anybody can come through. Shout out to James. And I don't know, people can just go there and be with people to share. I think it's just the matter of fact, like I think sessions like those need to happen a little more often. I know it's difficult to find space and just do it, or even just like
There are a lot of sessions around here, man.
I'm sure, but like
There's at least 3 or 4 b-boy sessions. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sure. Don't get me wrong. They're all happening everywhere. I think it's just a matter of fact of like everyone, like, so back again to the PRing, as well as like people need to really just be uncomfortable again, like really be uncomfortable, because that's why like how we see the dancing right now, it's kind of like the same
thing, because they're
they're
going towards what's
they're going
comfortable.
they're going towards what's comfortable.
Mm.
So I think it's just a matter of fact, as well as a personal thing that these dancers need to do. Really, just do it. Like if you're really feeling like a style that you want to go check out, go check it out. Like again, like even I had to push myself out of my comfort zone when like I need dance again in my life, and I just wanted to go do something. So I went to check out Wednesday nights at Cloak and Dagger for
I've been seeing you
Lions
there a lot.
Den.
Oh, is
So-
that where she has it now?
Well, it's just like a club, you know, setting, you know.
Oh, I know where it is, but like,
Yeah.
is that where Lauren is having her Lions Den stuff now?
Well, there, and she also has her her studio space too in Vienna, Tyson's area. But on Wednesday nights, that's just where we all get down.
Cool.
Yeah, good music, good times, great company.
It's late.
It is late.
It's
It's a
very
weird
late.
part of the week, but if you are free and you're up for it, come through.
I went with Eser once, and I was like, wow, this is a lot of fun. People just get down.
They do.
Yeah.
But yeah, just for that example, like it's nice to go, even like after you break through that one time, it's nice to keep coming back. Find yourself as a dancer,
Build up a community.
Yeah.
build it up, and that's where you meet all these other people.
And you get their perspective.
Exactly.
You can exchange your knowledge. Be like,
You
hey,
become more eclectic with yourself.
Ooh, good word.
Yeah.
Good word. Eclectic.
I don't want to be eclectic
Really?
Okay. Well.
in the sense of styles.
Okay.
Well. Okay.
I'm fine.
But I mean,
I am very eclectic when it comes to music, though,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
and applying how I dance to
Mhm.
that. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to learn any other styles because I already have tried. At least, I mean, it's,
no,
it's
that's,
different
and that's
now.
fine.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely
that's
okay.
the difference between you and a lot of people.
Sure
is
that they haven't
you-
tried yet.
Yeah.
But I've seen you Vogue
And whack.
and whack. You're very
And
good.
B-boy.
And you're. Ooh. That okay. Yo, man, like.
No, I've never been able to.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I.
Last time I really like did some breaking was when Tarzan taught for the first time
Oh yeah.
in our area.
Yeah, it was when
Yeah.
you first moved here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
not so much for like us as being seasoned. Like we kind of know what we
Sure.
like already.
Because we tried it.
We've
That's
tried
the-
it because
that's the biggest thing.
we've tried it already, and we know what we like about ourselves to do what we do.
Mm.
So just for like you're new, or like you're a little bit into your dance journey, just keep checking things out. Feel it out before you like really settle. Like, okay, I'm just gonna do what everyone else is doing, and this is how we build off of community.
Mm-hmm.
I got one. Another way to build up your community is to not have everyone join the same team.
Ooh,
I'm not gonna.
ooh, that's
I'm
another
not-
thing.
I'm not gonna name any names for our community, but
That's a good general note.
I mean, the general. The fact of the matter is that this happens in every community. Whereas, well, no, not every community. A good amount of communities, though,
Yeah.
where there is one prominent team
Mm-hmm.
that everyone wants to join. And I understand, like, you want to be on the best team in your area, clearly, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when that happens? As a result of that happening,
Good catch.
as a result of that happening, is that competition within the community. And I know I just talked about everyone competing against each other, but a healthy competition in the community is no longer there.
Yeah.
Everyone being good is on the same team that is
Yeah.
known for being good,
Uh-huh.
and you're just that team.
Mhm.
You're that just at that level. Everyone else, every other team that may have had a shot at being decent is just either going to stay low,
Mhm.
and that's it. Before, everyone had a healthy competition against each
Mhm.
other.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you can define them.
yeah, and that helped every team have their own unique identity. That was, and they were each good for different reasons.
Right.
Like, they may not have been like the most technically good and challenging that wise, but they
Great
brought
themes,
about
yeah.
great themes or an artistic vision that
Mhm.
went with
Yeah.
it. This other team may be just more raw and bring out that street element onto the stage, etc.
Right. Right.
But now it's just like, no, there's that team, and
Wait.
I don't want to watch anyone else because the end.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. to be honest.
No,
No.
I mean, you're definitely
No,
not. I mean,
you're spot on about that.
But one of the good things though in this community is that there are so many different avenues to go now. Like there are the teams do exist. I remember when we were on Major Def, or even when it was just Tito BoyScouts, the only thing that we really cared about joining was Culture Shock.
Yeah.
Like that was like, kind of the premier, like the highest tier that you could kind of get
Sure.
to in this area. Now the teams, I personally think the teams in this area have grown to be competitive with Culture Shock in terms of skill.
Or Culture Shock has
Lost its
lost a lot of people.
yeah.
And
That's another-
And the idea people are leaving Culture Shock to go to other teams.
Yeah.
So I just think, I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Here's the thing. Here's the difference with when we were on the team is that when we were on it, we still provided and still helped build up these other teams.
The other team, yeah, we would go back and
Exactly.
choreograph.
It's the same idea as like leaving your community to go to some other community.
Yeah.
You're leaving your team to go to another
Another
team,
team.
and you're not building up that other
Yeah.
team
Yeah. That
Yeah.
other team.
that you were on.
Yeah, you don't want to leave them in the dust. Like, and
Yeah.
that's the biggest difference, between dancers then and dancers now. We would even go back to semi-formal and give people.
Yeah, not even a real team. It's
Yeah.
just a club who wants to dance.
Mhm.
Oh boy, you all
Yeah.
took it back there.
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, semi-formal in the Philippine
See,
American.
that had a healthy competition.
Yeah.
That did.
that was
Very healthy competition.
Yeah. Yep. I think that was one of the most inspiring things for me. That's
too.
what
Me
really
too.
got me
Yeah.
into dance for real.
For sure.
Like we'd spend 4 months working on a performance that's like 13 minutes long.
Oh my gosh,
For
why
no reason.
why were they so
then-
long? I don't know.
And then
And you-
that's it.
And you knew and back then I'm about to it's always a competition between UMBC, UMCP, George Mason.
George Mason.
Yeah.
And there were some teams like came out the woodwork and got a lot better. Like I remember Towson did get better after a while. My sister was working with them and I saw them really grow. And it's a matter of those people that just stay, like you said,
Stay and help.
build it up.
Yep.
Dancing doesn't have that much of a stance in the college community as much as it used to. Or I mean the semi-formal community,
No.
D6 community is what
Sure,
D6
sure.
community, as much as it used to.
But even in the collegiate area.
Yeah, collegiate area.
Yeah.
The collegiate
community.
collegiate circuit of
There
dancers.
you go. It's just not as competitive.
No, it's
Mhm.
not. Everyone's back
anymore.
to basics or something,
Mm.
That's what I feel like it is.
I don't know. I think a lot of them are trying to skip their basics.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a good way to see it.
Yeah, that is true.
Every time I do even just warm-ups for Capital Funk, for like a workshop. I always do like groove, 2-step, just basic like hip hop movement, like how to groove in your body. And I swear there are so many people just struggling with that.
Awkward.
Like, yeah, very awkward. Like they don't know their 2-step, which is the most basic form of our dance style.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's a little disheartening to see that.
But
Where there's a better collegiate and community, I guess, or circuit, I guess, is like the Southern Virginia and like North Carolina areas.
they're on
They
something.
each have their
They're
own
good.
team, 2 even at one school, and they're all competing against each other healthily, like happily,
Yeah.
cordially.
I hope that they stay with that. Like,
Yeah.
their community
Yeah.
is amazing.
Mm-hmm. We used to have that up here,
I know.
but now what's happening is that it's just okay. Now it's the one team against everyone else. That kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
good.
No, I have nothing to say.
Mm.
I'm like speculating. I'm like,
Anyway,
But anyways,
but that's like, that's one way you can help build a community.
thought just another thought about building up a community just came to mind. What if, like, you know how, I don't know, I'm just kind of relating back to our D6 years.
oh gosh.
For some reason, this was totally unplanned. Like, all of us were directing all the colleges at one point.
Yeah.
Like like the entire Boy Scouts crew, we were all leading the colleges. Somehow that just magically happened.
Yeah.
And then we still come together and just like still like are good. We're cool. We're now good, very best friends.
It's like
We were good before. So.
yeah.
but in that same
We're
light,
competing amongst ourselves
I know.
with our individual schools.
I know.
Who has a faster horse?
But what I'm getting at, in that same light, what if just like, I don't know, even BDCP at one point for their community showcases, their annual showcase, that one time before the show began, they had the leaders come together, talk about how to build up the community.
Right.
So I think maybe a physical, like face-to-face sort of like coming together needs to happen also.
Well, that just comes down to everyone needs to go to everyone's events.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where you meet
Okay.
people and talk to people.
And you have to respect.
Their space.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
you're
also respect when they throw their events and
That's
not
true.
conflict
Yeah.
it. Because you gain nothing from throwing an event on the same day as another one.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
you're splitting your audience.
Oh no,
really.
for sure.
But we're running pretty long now, so
But yeah, that's just my final thought about this. But we could go on and on.
yeah, there are a lot of different ways you could build your community, in particular the DMV community. We've named quite a few.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing is to not stop this conversation.
Right.
You know, keep having this conversation. As awkward as it can get, keep having it, because eventually people will, if you're comfortable having the conversation, you'll be comfortable to make the changes that are necessary for the community.
Yes.
And that's how I wanted to help build up this community, by having this. What we're doing now is having conversations about everything.
Full
Circle.
square.
Like a session.
Like a session.
Life is like a
the
circle.
It's
like a circle.
Oh.
And now you get it.
Oh. Wow.
Wow.
But yeah,
All right.
that's the idea.
Yeah.
Communication makes a lot of things happen.
Sure
not
does.
just building a community forces creativity. All kinds of things happen when you just communicate with each other and just have a conversation. So, as a quick recap, try and stick around.
Yeah. Sorry.
Try,
guys.
try and stick around in all aspects of your life, of your community, of your team, etc. That's why I give a lot of props to people who stick with their St. Collegiate team, particularly Capital Funk, who stick with them for years after they already graduate. Just keep on providing. It's working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll bring up Brad.
Brad.
Brad graduated from college, came here, and stayed with the team for 10 years.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
So he
And we
built
had
it.
Brad on our show too.
Yeah, we've had
He's
Brad.
He's a great guy. And let that be like a testament. It worked, right?
Yeah.
Like he is providing his knowledge to his community, which is his team, and that needs to trickle down. But anyway, before we go into a circle again,
go in another circle.
Justin, for the final time, thank you coming by.
Don't cry, huh?
Don't cry.
Don't cry, huh?
Where can people find you for the last time?
You can't find me here. That's the saddest.
What?
There you go. You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Wonderfell88. Please follow me. I'm going to be probably regularly updating.
He's going to be big in LA. You don't want to miss him.
No. Well, no, I'm going to try. Maybe.
I'm gonna find you.
You're gonna kill me.
Eser, where can people find you, man?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Valcirca and on Facebook.
One more time.
One more time.
He's single, ladies. For me, just look at him.
Look at him.
The following week, I'm gonna be happy saying it myself now, and I don't want to do that.
It's just sad at that point.
It's just sad.
Boy.
He's not gonna say it.
Nope.
He's not gonna help me.
As always, I'm Russ Santos, aka Lock and Robin. You can find me at Lock and Robin and all that good stuff. Twitter, Instagram, mostly Instagram. So follow me there. Keep this conversation going, guys. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Just leave a comment anywhere you can find us. If you're in the podcast, if you're listening on Spotify, come to our website, dancefam.tv, or even go to the YouTube and leave a comment on the video. How can you build up? What are other ways you can build up your community?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you find faults with the ones that we came up with.
Yeah,
which is totally fine. We're up to listening.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely leave a comment if you want us to review a particular video in particular. Said that twice. You can leave it in the comment as well, and we definitely listen to almost the past 4 videos we've gotten from requests.
Yep.
So definitely do it. It works. Follow
work.
us on Instagram and on Twitter and all that good stuff at dancefamtv. #the session. We will see you next time. Say goodbye to Justin.
You won't see me, but I'll be seeing you guys.
Peace, guys.